Now this produced spermatozoa have a special type of structure, and this we'll discuss here, the structure of sperm. It consists of mainly 4 parts. First part is the anterior most part is known as head, and the anterior part of the head is having special covering that is known as acrosome. This acrosome contains some enzymes which is necessary for the fertilization process during the fusion. This will help in the dissolving the egg covering. Now next is neck, just beneath the head, neck is there, and then a middle piece. This middle piece having the mitochondria, numerous mitochondria. These mitochondria are necessary for releasing the energy for the motility of the sperm. So energy is given by this middle piece, that means having the mitochondria. And this middle piece is terminates into the next part is the long tail. This long tail helps in the motility of the sperm. Motility of the sperm is required for the movement of the sperm is required for the fertilization. And this is the structure, and that the structure of the sperm will study through this diagram.
Here you can see the structure of sperm. This sperm has 3 parts: head, then this is the middle piece, which is head and middle piece is connected by this neck, and this is long tail, which will help in the movement of the sperm. The head at the anterior side, it is the acrosome is present, which contains the enzyme which will help the sperm during the fertilization process. It will dissolve the zona pellucida layer of ovum, and it will get entry in the inside the ovum. Now the head contains the nucleus, haploid nucleus, and chromosome material. Now this middle piece having the mitochondria, which will give energy in the movement and other activities of the sperm.
The functioning of the male reproductive system, the gametogenesis process, that is spermatogenesis process, is controlled by the different types of hormones which are produced in different parts of the body by different endocrinal glands. The hormonal control starts with GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone, which is released by the hypothalamus. This hormone will act upon stimulates the anterior part of the pituitary to secrete some hormones. This anterior pituitary will secrete 2 hormones, that is FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and LH, that is luteinizing hormone. This luteinizing hormone will act upon the Leydig cells which are present in the interstitial space, will act upon these cells to stimulate these cells. These cells will start producing the group of male hormones that is known as androgen. Example is testosterone. This testosterone is responsible for the process of spermatogenesis or formation of sperm. Now this FSH, which is follicle stimulating hormone, will act upon the Sertoli cell which is present inside the spemniferous tubule. These Sertoli cells start secreting some factors, inhibin, etc., which are these factors are responsible for the process of spermiogenesis, that is transformation of the spermatid into the sperm. And we are also knowing that how this is giving rise to the feedback mechanism. That is, when the amount of testosterone increases very high, then it will go back and it will stimulate the hypothalamus to stop the process, to decrease the secretion of GnRH. And in this way, the testosterone will itself, it is responsible for decreasing the amount of GnRH. That's why it is known as feedback mechanism.
This is a diagram showing the hormonal control or regulation of spermatogenesis and other control in the male sexual functions. You can see this hypothalamus is the endocrinal gland which is present in our brain, which is responsible for secreting the hormone GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. This hormone will stimulate the anterior pituitary gland to secrete these 2 hormones, that is LH and FSH. Now this LH or luteinizing hormone will act upon the Leydig cell present inside the seminiferous testis, and this will start secreting the hormone testosterone, and the FSH will act upon the Sertoli cell, which Sertoli cell will secrete the hormone inhibin. Now, this testosterone is responsible for the process of spermatogenesis, and when the amount of this testosterone increases, then it results in the inhibition of hypothalamus. Here also the inhibin hormone will act upon this hypothalamus to inhibit the function, and in this way, that's why it is known as feedback mechanism, and in this way the hormonal control occurs.